Hi, and welcome to Teletalk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own minds. Listener discretion is advised, though.
If you're enjoying what you hear, please do rate, review, and subscribe. It means so much to us when you do.
You can hit us up on our socials. We're at TeletalkPod on Facebook and Blue Sky. And you can email us at teletalkpod@outlook.com.
So this episode, we are armchair experting Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, Episode 16. This is dinner party number 3. Thanks, I like that. Brilliant intro from me.
I'm down with the ute.
So, shall we get straight into the couples?
Let's all party that dinner up.
I want to start with Jackie and Ryan.
Oh, thank goodness they're all normal and fine now. Is that why you want to start with them?
I just feel that we need to spread this drama out throughout our episode.
And spreading the drama is what Jackie does.
Yeah. Well, we see a clip from new couple Beth and TJ's wedding of Jackie causing chaos. And then we hear that Jackie has reached out to Jeff without Rhee's involvement for support.
Yeah, it's like she's just going, and I'm going to throw chaos at you, and I'm going to throw chaos at you, and I'm going to cause complications for you.
Yeah, she's Jackieing herself everywhere.
That sounds wrong in some way.
Okay, we don't have to keep that. We'll just forget I said that.
Yeah, they're just so odd, aren't they?
Yeah, and we see them in the car on their way to the dinner party, and they are game planning again. And I feel like that is a lot of what they're doing.
Yes, and I think that causes Jackie to overcompensate. I think that she thinks that she's doing a masterful job at covering for the fact that they are insane. She thinks she's coming across as united and loving and everything. And I just think she overshoots massively and is unaware of it. So in the first dinner party where she was defending Ryan, and she completely overshoots by trying to over-own it and say, like, oh, it's a compliment to be told you've got crazy eyes, etc. And then in this one, she just randomly accosts him in the middle of something else going on and goes, give me 11 things you love about me, or whatever. It's just, I think she thinks she's coming across well.
I just see her behaviour as attention-seeking and almost compulsive in her seeking of attention. I see it as dramatic and highly immature.
Immature is a really good way of putting it. They both feel quite immature.
Because she said that they take good photos together, and that's one of the things she likes about him.
It's all surface level and superficial.
Superficial, yeah.
But on the plus side, they're definitely not annoying everyone else in the group whenever they start up their shit.
I thought it was really interesting when she starts this particular thing up of asking him for compliments, is that I noticed she just gets this look in her eye. It's like everything's moving on without them. And it's almost like she wants that attention, and she's like, I'm going to make this about us.
Liv, are you suggesting that she's got crazy eyes?
I can see how you've got there, and in that moment, maybe yes, but I wouldn't be so bold as to say that she has crazy eyes in general.
On the plus side, it's a compliment.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll be happy
she
with
loves
that.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, you touched on the whole Rhee and Jeff situation, and that's its own level of bag of problematic, isn't it? Because she reaches out to Jeff to say, hey, I need to talk to someone about Ryan. Can I meet up with you without Rhee? And I think reasonably, Rhee is not impressed.
No, well, we hear about this mainly from Rhee. And she is not happy. And she actually refers to herself as feeling exhausted by Jackie and Ryan.
Same girl, same.
Yeah.
That's actually, Jackie particularly, but both of them are exhausting. It's a real thing. But also, Jackie just doesn't seem to get it. She doesn't seem to respect anyone else. Like when she's talking in her talking head about Rhee, She's saying like, oh, I just hope she can get over it. So dismissive.
Yeah. But I think it's becoming a thing. So she has ruined, potentially, Beth and TJ's wedding. Obviously, we've only seen a clip. And now she is inserting herself in between Ree and Jeff. I'm wondering who's next. Who's going to be at the end of that spin your bottle game?
I like to think of Ryan and Jackie as sort of like this chaotic black hole sucking other couples into their shit.
Yeah.
And just getting, I don't know, chaos on them. You're going to have drama. You're going to have drama. Have some of our drama. We've got some to spare.
Maybe it's like a creeping virus.
We're being very complimentary.
Let me try and think of a good thing that would describe this. Confetti at a party?
Or glitter.
Glitter. Oh my God, glitter gets everywhere.
They are the glitter bomb relationship of this season.
See, we're putting a positive spin on it, and yet, who wants glitter all over them?
No one. Although Jackie would insist that she does and that it's great.
And that it's great, yeah.
I suppose it sort of neatly transitions us on to Ree and Jeff.
Yeah, because they actually seem quite united, and they do a lot of smiling in this episode, which is really nice for them.
They're very much smiling in the face of Jackie.
Yeah. And Ree does say that she feels supported by Jeff throughout the Jackie debacle.
I can't help but feel like Jeff got that invite to a meet up with Jackie and he was just like, Ree, save me, please. I do not want to go one-to-one with her.
More of a plea for help.
Yeah, save me from Jackie.
The glitter's getting near me.
Oh my God, can you imagine going for a one-on-one coffee with Jackie?
No.
I don't want to.
The thing is, she's not coherent. Because she's so all over the place, I don't think you'd be able to follow her train of thought.
Yeah. I almost want to do it just because it would be baffling.
I have a thought about Jeff, though.
Do you?
In all seriousness, yeah. And I, throughout this episode, got the real impression that he has become the unofficial group leader. You know, in Tuckman's group theory, he talks about the roles that people start to take within the forming, storming, norming, performing thing. And I feel that the group is sort of looking to him as the leader.
Yeah, that could be true, because I kind of thought that maybe it was because he and Rhea are in a solid couple, but ostensibly there's a few couples that are, on face value, solid.
Yeah.
You know, Karina and Paul, Jamie and Dave, but no one's looking at them in the same way, so there must be something about Jeff that inspires confidence in people.
Yeah, and he's the one that instigates some calling out as well. You know, he starts to stand up for other people before it's become a topic.
He found his voice, and that voice is very much going, can we quit this shit, please?
Yeah, because he is actually quite calm and stable, and he brings an air of authority with him.
He might just be the only normal person here.
That is a bold statement.
Is it?
Can you back it up?
Name one other normal person.
Beth.
We don't know Beth.
Lauren. Ree.
Okay, right, Ree. Okay.
Karina, Paul, Billy. I think your point is moot.
You're just naming random people.
No, you said name people that are normal, and I've started a list, and it's most of the other people.
Yes, dear.
All right, well, let's leave that there and go to...
TJ and Beth.
One of our new couples.
Yes, one of the 3 new couples, and possibly the least controversial so far.
Yeah, well, we don't see an awful lot of them in this dinner party. They are very much the pebble, letting the drama wash over them.
I don't blame them, because they basically stepped into the room and got a Jackie explosion to the face.
Yeah.
And then they're probably like, I don't think I want to poke this particular hornet's nest anymore.
Yeah, I feel like they are actually getting quite a lot of support from each other in this drama chaos that they're in.
Wow.
But I feel like they're really assessing the status quo and trying to find their place within that.
We better not cause too much of a stir, as they might sick Jackie on us again. But one thing that I do think TJ is bringing great value to the show and will do, because he gives great reaction face. They cut to him a bunch of times and he's got wide-eyed going, what? In like shocked Pikachu look.
Do you know, I didn't particularly notice that Now that you've said it, I kind of want to watch it again.
Oh, I bet there'll be stills of it on the internet. I will have to find it and include it somehow. We'll post it on our socials. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
To Lauren and Clint.
Yes, another new couple, but we have seen Lauren before.
We have, but I'm going to allow it because she did come onto the show in the first place, and she met her first husband, Elliot, who we'll hear from later, because he's back too. So from my perspective, it's only fair that they're on the show, and it counts.
Because they are still, in fact, married at first sight.
Yes, and they were married at first sight on the show. She has only met both of her husbands on the show.
Okay. Well, they receive a warm welcome from everyone, and then we don't really find out that much more about Clint.
I'm going to rename them to Lauren and not Elliot.
Oh, no. Poor Clint.
Well, that is very much his role at the moment.
We really don't see that much of him, but he does seem supportive of Lauren during Elliot's onslaught.
It's very appropriate because he's a pro golfer and he does occasionally chip in.
I don't get it.
Well, chip is a type of shot in golf.
It doesn't sound like a very good shot.
Well, it can be a very good shot. It's very common.
So it's like a bogey.
No.
I don't know much about golf. I'm just remembering this from the Wii Switch game.
The Wii Switch game?
That's not a thing.
On the Nintendo PlayStation.
From the Wii Golf. Was that it?
Yes, well done.
Yeah, something about a bogey.
I'm going to go with yes.
There was something else. What else was there?
An eagle?
No, I don't remember that.
Birdie.
Birdie. I remember that, but I don't know what it means.
Birdie is good, bogey is bad. You can kind of infer it. We've taken a massive tangent. Let's come back to this. Clint is the pro golfer, but he plays very little part in this, so no one cares about him.
He gets a bogey.
To be honest with you, I think he gets an easy mulligan.
What's that?
That's from golf too.
I'm trying my best, but I really don't know enough.
But basically, what I'm going to say is he has an easy win by basically just going, I don't like Elliot. And she's going to go, excellent, I like you.
But he does more than that. Because he puts Elliot in his place, and actually it's at that point that Elliot backs down.
Does he put Elliot in his place, or does Elliot put Elliot in his place?
How do you mean?
Well, Elliot is his own worst enemy, and we will get to him in a minute.
Well, let's get to him now, because I feel like we're done with Lauren and Clint.
Enter Elliot and Veronica, who I know looks quite similar to Lauren.
You think?
Yeah.
In that they both have dark hair.
Yeah, and I can't really tell them apart when I'm looking at them, just glancing up as I'm hastily making notes.
Brilliant. Now, I really liked Veronica. I thought she came across as having a lot of integrity.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's doing on the show, if I'm honest.
Oh, that's a bit mean. Do you want me to get my list out of people that I feel have integrity?
Yes, dear. Sorry, that was flippant, but yes, carry on.
Well, I just feel that whilst Elliot is going through his assassination or character assassination, being very rude and dismissive, Veronica is carefully listening, and you can see her face gets more and more concerned as he carries on talking. And then ultimately she calls him out on his shitty behaviour. And I thought that takes a lot of strength of character to do that so early on in a relationship.
Yeah, and fair play to her, but for me it was personally annoying because up until that point, whenever I glanced up, I could tell which it was between her and Lauren by whether they were angry at Elliot or not. And once she became angry with Elliot, I had no chance.
I feel that she was disappointed in Elliot.
Oh, she's not angry. She's disappointed.
Yeah, because she actually has quite high hopes for him, I think.
No one's quite sure why, but she does.
Well, he sold her the dream by all accounts.
He did. He made a mistake because he set her up going, oh yeah, nothing really bad happened. That wasn't that bad. I think it'll all be fine. And we're all going, no. I think one of the problems that these two couples that we've just talked about might have is if they continue to be defined by the Lauren Elliot, I'm going to say feud.
Yes, they both need to now move on and focus on their current marriages.
Yeah. Veronica managed to sort of give herself more of an identity in the process so far by standing up to Elliot. So she avoided becoming the not Elliot that Clint is. So she avoided becoming not Lauren.
Yeah.
But it's very much a case of those two sort of new partners took a step back in this dinner party while Lauren and Elliot went at each other a bit.
I don't think that's fair on Veronica, necessarily.
No.
I feel that Clint took a step back, or certainly that's the edit that we see.
No, that's true.
Whereas Veronica, yeah, we do see her personality a bit more. I liked it.
Yeah, my only concern with Lauren is I feel like she might not be doing herself any favours by getting so vitriolic about Elliot. I think there will be a certain point where she needs to sort of draw a line under it, like maybe slightly classless things, like going, "Oh, you smell better than last time," which just feels a bit ick to me.
It's very personal, but then again, he made some very personal comments as well.
Yeah, it's someone at some point is going to have to take the moral high ground and become a bigger person, and I can't see it being Elliot at this point.
Well, I don't think the dinner party is the place for that. That is the place for airing grievances. Maybe we'll see some development on both of these couples at the commitment ceremony.
On the plus side, if it doesn't go well in his main career, Elliot has a great career path in PR, because he handled that masterfully.
Okay. Morena and Tony.
Nice.
Now, did you notice my new way of saying Molena's name?
I did.
I have been practicing.
I know, I've heard you.
I say it over and over again. Actually, you've only heard a snippet because most of the time I do it in my head.
Are you just practicing echolalia of her name?
Yeah, and Morena. But I really like it. Now I can do it. I think I can do it.
Morena.
No, that's not it.
No, I can't do it. But if you do it to that song, it's
Have
fun.
you practiced?
No.
Okay, that's probably why you can't do it, because let me tell you that I couldn't do it to begin with, and now that I've been practicing and putting in the work, I can do it.
I was too distracted by the fact of holy shit, she can smile.
She smiled last.
No, she didn't. She sort of like moved her mouth into a straight line as opposed to a downy frown. This time, I could see teeth. There seemed to be life in her eyes. Her hair was curly. She seemed happy. I have a theory that curly hair Morena, happy time, straight hair Morena, gonna kill someone.
That is an interesting theory, and is something we can definitely put to the test.
We'll have to keep a hair tracker.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe if she gets really upset in a moment, maybe it'll suddenly straighten.
Well, it was really refreshing to see this couple, because Morena really seems to have internalised the expert's words, and she even says that she's grateful for some of the things that they brought to her attention at the last commitment ceremony.
Yeah, it made me feel positive and cheerful in a way that Tony's suit did not.
You didn't like his suit?
Not a fan.
I did like it.
Did you enjoy Morena's flower that had a dress attached?
Yeah, I thought they looked really good as a couple together.
No. Oh yeah, I thought her dress was nice enough. His suit was appalling.
So you wouldn't wear his suit?
No.
That's disappointing.
Is it disappointing?
Yeah. Boo.
You get to hear me disappoint my wife live.
But we even see them joking around together. And not just them, but there's quite a group involved.
Yeah.
When they're talking about the wine. And Tony says, "Oh, don't give me any more red wine. I'll be telling her that I love her by the end of the night." And then Morena says, "Top up his red wine. I need to hear this."
And she even like mums Athena when she comes in on her own. That's a real change, not just with her and Tony's relationship, but her relationship with the wider group. And I have to acknowledge I was wrong, because I was very sceptical after the last commitment ceremony. I wasn't convinced that Morena was actually taking on board what the experts said. I thought she was just playing along and nothing would change. And that would seem to be incorrect.
Well, so far from what we've seen, yeah, because we have a really light-hearted, funny and warm interaction with her this time.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, me too.
Long may it continue. And another couple that seems to be doing pretty well, Jamie and Dave.
Jave, as you like to call him.
Jave. He broke a chair with his bum.
He was just being Dave.
He sat on a chair. He was giant. It went crumple. He fell onto the floor.
Yeah.
Everyone had a chuckle.
Including him, so that's
Yeah.
quite good.
He got to own it.
Now, these two seem quite romantic still, and they continue to lift each other up and sort of revel in each other, which is nice.
It's sort of almost sickeningly sweet.
I noticed that they both seem to have big personalities, but they make room for each other, which is really lovely to see.
Yeah, they do. It's also boring.
Okay.
Shall we move on to a couple that isn't boring, just possibly, infuriating.
Go on then.
Athena and dun 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 Adrian. Boo.
Okay. So I'm getting the sense that you like Athena.
Yep.
And that you have serious issues with Adrian.
And that's one way to put it. I would say he's a dick.
Dun dun dun.
He continues to be a dick.
Now, these two are complete opposites of each other.
Yeah.
Athena seems mature and self-aware, whereas Adrian comes across as very immature and completely oblivious.
No, Liv, you have to understand that it's entirely reasonable for him to get all emotional and upset because he wasn't included on a promo, leave his ring on a table, and just disappear and demand that Athena packs his bags for him. That's measured and fair.
Yeah, this is how the episode opens. It's not something that happens necessarily at the dinner party.
No.
And we see him going back to their apartment, sort of tail between his legs. And as soon as he goes in, he puts her into fight or flight mode. And I think where previously she'd have opted for flight, this time she chooses fight. And I feel that this is marking a change in her.
Yeah, there's probably a certain point where his terrible behaviour just gets too much and she's just done.
It feels to me like she's been released from a box and she is now refusing to be put back in that box.
And he is trying.
Yeah, but she is standing her ground and she is not letting him talk over her anymore.
My only concern is like when they're in the pre-drinks, he starts trying to work his, and I hate to say charm, but his charm on her with his smile and whatnot. And despite herself, she is succumbing to it a bit, so that gives me some worries.
I think she's got more about her. And I don't think that's getting to her as much as you're worried that it is.
But don't you think she'll be touched by how big of him it was to come back,
No.
as he says?
No.
You don't?
My closing remarks on Adrian are that he is a smirky shit.
Oh, he absolutely is. But he mixes in a nice bit of misogyny with that as well by declaring things like, you females.
Yeah. But it does get worse.
Somehow it gets worse.
Yeah. He ends up pretty much yelling over the group to try and get their attention so that he can drop this bomb.
Yes, because Billy, and we'll move on and include Billy and Sierra because they're wrapped up in all of this, whether Billy likes it or not. And Billy starts trying to hold Adrian and Sierra to account because Adrian and Sierra, while Adrian was disappeared, went and had dinner.
Yes.
And Sierra spent the next day in its entirety with Athena and decided it's best not to mention that because it would just upset her.
Yeah.
Billy tries to hold Adrian to account, and I think Adrian's prepared for this, hasn't he?
He has. But how do you feel about Sierra and Adrian going for dinner and not telling their spouses?
I think it's deeply inappropriate because they knew fully well that it was a problem. They both knew that their respective partners were not going to be okay with it, and that's why they didn't say anything. And they think so little of their partners' feelings and perspectives that they're just like, I don't care, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. And actually, I felt that this was a disappointing moment from Tony because he was there for that dinner and he tries to defend it and saying it was just a friendship thing. Well, if it's just a friendship thing, why hide it?
My man, Tony, what are you doing to me? I want to like you, and yet you seem to draw all of the people I dislike the most to you. Tim gravitated towards Tony. Adrian and Sierra gravitating towards Tony. This isn't good. Not good look, bro.
Yeah, it would be interesting to evaluate why you like Tony, to see if that is a preconceived idea and how much that is actually true.
Yes. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Well, he's surrounded by people that you don't have as much respect for, so I'm just wondering...
Are you suggesting my judgment might be a bit skew-with?
Yeah.
Well, this has been a little bit closer to home than I was expecting.
Okay, back to the point.
Excellent. Let's talk about shitty people doing shitty things.
Yes. That aren't us, right?
Yeah, this is not us.
So Adrian calls out Billy and says that Billy asked him on the phone for a wife swap.
Oh, and he does it while winking at him and sort of gesturing his hands like, there you go.
Yeah, and then he leaves the table.
Yeah, he and Sierra scamper off because Sierra takes the opportunity to go, oh, Billy's bad.
Hang on, Tony was there as well. Oh. Yeah.
I might have to accept that Tony isn't my people. And to be fair to Billy, he faces up to it with the group and acknowledges that that's not okay.
Yeah.
And we don't get any context for when he said it or how he said it or anything like that, but it gives Adrian and Sierra the chance to leg it, and Tony.
Yeah. Now, I had thoughts on Sierra in the week, which I don't know whether to bring up because I've now sort of changed my mind again.
Okay. Well, run us through your thought processes and we can see where we're at.
All right, this is a journey. You ready?
Lay it on me.
Okay. I was watching Professor T.
Of course you were.
Which is a fiction-based detective drama thing.
Fiction-based? Do you mean fictional?
Fictional.
Non-real times.
He is a professor of criminology at Cambridge University, and he gets enlisted to support the police in their investigating, as you call it then. And in one episode, he is giving a lecture to his students, and he uses an example of crime inciting crime.
Okay.
And he talks about a car being abandoned in a nice neighbourhood in America. It's left unlocked, and it's there for a week, and nothing happens to it. It just stays where it was left.
I'm curious as to where this is going.
Yeah, stay with me. So the people running the experiment go and smash a window in the car to see what will happen now. And almost immediately, the car is ransacked and raided, and everything is taken from it, and then it's torched.
Okay.
So the idea is that crime incites crime. Once people realised that the car had got damage to it, then they were more willing to cause more damage to it.
Right, okay, so in this analogy, Sierra is the car.
Yeah.
Okay, good, I'm with you so far. And then her baggage that she won't tell anyone apart from Adrian about is a broken window.
Yes.
Or a faulty headlight.
It's the broken window
It's
in
the
this
broken
example,
window, yeah.
because that's what the people who are running the experiment did.
And she doesn't want to show Billy that she's got a broken window in case he then sets fire to her as the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel that I felt more precisely that she might be too scared to tell Billy because he would be in a position to cause more harm being her spouse. And that might be why she was willing to open up to other people and not to him, because he held more power.
And you said you thought that past tense. What do you think now?
Well, so I came into this episode with that in mind, and then I watched her behaviour and what she's done, which is meeting up with Adrian behind Athena and Billy's back and not taking any accountability for that. And I thought, nah, you bring this on yourself. You are continuing bad decisions.
She just keeps smashing her own windows?
Yes.
Okay,
well,
to carry on that metaphor.
Yeah, she's smashing Billy's windows now.
He wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, she seems to acknowledge that she's wronged Athena because she gives her a very public and pointed apology.
Yeah.
And poor old Billy sat there going, what about me?
Yeah, she hurts him repeatedly and doesn't even acknowledge it.
And then she jumps on that one thing that he's done wrong and uses that as a, right, I've got reason now. Yeah,
and she actually seems genuinely hurt, which then kind of fed back into my original thoughts.
Yeah, it's very difficult because, like, what he said on face value is not good.
No.
But I think there's plenty of mitigating circumstances. I hope they get into that at the commitment ceremony.
Yeah, so this was a bit shocking for me to see what happened between them, because she left the last commitment ceremony saying she was going to tell Billy, and then we find out that they've been apart ever since.
To be fair, what she said was, I need to try to tell him, which was a nice, hedging herself there.
Well, trying implies failure, doesn't it?
Yeah. I didn't have any faith that she would. I think she just wanted to hang around longer so she could flirt with Adrian.
Well, it seems like she moved out that night.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I was very disappointed by this behaviour.
And I was very disappointed that Adrian managed to weasel his way out of being held accountable, because he was just at that point where the whole group had turned on him.
Yes, yeah.
And then he dropped the bomb and scurried off like the rat that he is.
Yeah, And then they don't circle back to them after that.
I
That's
know.
sort of the end of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we do still touch on one more couple.
No, we're going to touch on one more couple.
Oh, yeah! Our order is not their order.
We just have Karina and Paul, and there isn't much to say about them really, except that Alessandra refers to them as consistent and solid, and I agree with her.
Yeah, they still exist. They remain boring. Come back to me when they've had some sort of challenge.
Yeah. And that was it. We then see a clip of what's to come at the commitment ceremony. Now, actually, this was quite interesting because John sort of drops a bomb, and I'm thinking that they're going to show us some footage of shit that's gone down in the past.
Maybe someone getting receipts.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It just looked really dramatic, and I thought, ooh, is this Love is Blind style where we get given some actual footage of what they're talking about?
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I would like that.
So, that being the case, what did you rate this episode?
I gave this episode a solid 10 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I really liked it.
It brought the drama for Liv.
It did. And I know we didn't get to see all the couples in very much detail, but I kind of liked what we did see, and I felt that the group were uniting and, I don't know, not forming alliances, but working together to support the people that they felt needed supporting. So yeah, I liked it.
I gave it a underwhelming 3 punchable faces out of 7 in honour of Adrian.
I was going to say, whose punchable face is that?
As if you had to ask. Yeah, it would have been higher had he not weaseled his way out of his facing the music.
Oh, okay, so you were enjoying that up until the point that he drops Billy in.
I was like, yes, Billy, yes, no, Billy, why? I went on a real journey.
Yeah, and so you've landed with 3 out of 7.
Yeah, had that continued, I think we would have been on a solid 423 out of 7.
Oh, it was so close. So close to a good score.
It's amazing how quickly you can lose those points. But, you know, I have hopes for the commitment ceremony next time.
Yeah, you're hoping the experts will bring that accountability.
I'm hoping that they bring baseball bats.
A bit extreme.
Emotional baseball bats.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah. I don't know now.
And on that note, that's all, folks.
If you have the time, we would really appreciate it if you could rate and review the podcast. Your thoughts really do mean a lot to us. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Toodles!